I picked the Lakers to win this series. I picked them in 5. I just think they're the better team, clearly. And even if they had lost last night, I still would have felt confident that they were going to win this series. So I've always felt they were kind of in control as far as being the best team that will win. However, this doesn't have the feel of Brooklyn, Boston, or even of Dallas, the LA Clippers. Like, when I hear in control, I'm thinking, did you demoralize your opponent yet? And last night, the Lakers did not demoralize Phoenix. Like, there comes a point in series, especially ones where one team is heavily favored, where everybody knows which team is better. Like, we may be at that point with LA, with the Clippers and Dallas. Like, both teams know it's over and one team is better. We're not there in this series. Even though I think the Lakers are going to win, we are not there. If I'm Phoenix, I'm feeling good. We just played 2 games against the defending champions. Most of our players are in their first ever playoff series. And we played it without our leader and our inspirational leader, our MVP candidate. He was probably at 50%, if that. And we are at a split. And you can argue that Devin Booker has been the best player on the floor in this series. DeAndre Ayton has played exceptionally well. He looks great. Even though AD outplayed him last night, Ayton played well and looks good. And then you go on the other side. If I'm Phoenix, am I thinking, is AD going to do this the rest of the series? No. He's going to have some good games like this again, but he may have another bad game. Like, he's been up and down all year.
Well, yeah, and the Lakers had the opportunity to take full control last night. If you were watching, they were up 10 going into the final possession of the third quarter, and they allow a wide-open Phoenix 3 at the buzzer. And then the first possession of the fourth quarter, they allow another 3, and all of a sudden the game that was 10 and had been 15 was down to 4, and the Lakers are in a dogfight for the majority of the fourth quarter until their defense plus LeBron plus Anthony Davis takes over. And obviously, Chris Paul, you saw it during game 1. He was losing control of the basketball. And even though he came back in and played, he wasn't himself. And so I don't know if you could have expected him to be 100% 48 hours later when they're playing game 2. But the other factor is, over 2 games of this series, LeBron, I want to get this exactly right. LeBron has played 75 minutes. In those 75 minutes, the Lakers are plus 16. In the 21 minutes he has sat, they're minus 18. So when he's been on the court, even though he has not exploded to the basket in the half court once the entire series, they've still been in full control.
Thank you.
And they are generating, Dusty just sent me these numbers, they are generating more wide open threes than any team in the playoffs. They're just not hitting them. That eventually will come around. And Brandon, finally, and most importantly, sorry, excuse me, the brow is back, Brandon. He's back, buddy. He's back. You asked for him, and now he's here. 34, 10, 7, 21 free throw attempts. Do you know who's put up that stat line in playoff history? One guy, Shaq. In the 2000 Western Conference Finals. That's it. You can't ask for more for Anthony Davis on both ends of the court, and the clutch 3.
He had a good
he hasn't
quarter.
been hitting them all year. Look, Brandon, he had
a good quarter.
He didn't.
Nick,
Brandon,
Nick,
he had 34,
he was
10, and 7.
airballing shots yesterday.
Okay,
he was
Brandon,
airballing shots last night. Yeah, look,
Brandon, let me ask you a question.
Points,
Hold on, let me ask you a quick question. Hold on. Let me ask you a quick question. Did Kawhi Leonard have a good game or a good half? Because I would say he had a good game. He had 41 points. Was the majority of the work in the first half?
He had a phenomenal first half, and he had a decent to good second half. That's what Kawhi had.
Okay. All right. Well, the brow had a great all-around game. Start to finish, buddy.
Right. Look, let me answer the question. Absolutely, all of the momentum has swung the Lakers' way, but it's not because of the Bras, not because of, AD. LeBron James played phenomenal. He was great, got everybody involved, impacted the game in so many different ways. But the story was CP3. So, yes, Nick, we knew and we saw CP3 go down in the first game. but he finished that game. And a lot of times when our players finish games, we believe that, okay, they're going to be okay. Nobody thought that CP3 was going to be running around with one arm. Did you see the way he was dribbling? 23 minutes, 6 points. That was the difference. The Suns, with everything healthy, with everybody healthy, given the situation, when you look at the Lakers with AD being up and down and you got LeBron James still not 100%, the Suns are the better team. So this is a huge blow to the Suns when you look at CP3. And this is not the first time this has happened. How many times have we seen CP3 playing lights out, his team's playing great, and then all of a sudden hydration kicks in, he's cramping, the hamstring goes, and now the entire series shift from, them leading the way and dominating to now they're losing and not even making it to the finals.
Yes, watching CP3 on the bench in the fourth quarter was one of two things that really hurt my feelings. I wanted CP3 to have a deep playoff run, and if he wasn't good enough to go at a home game in the fourth quarter, I don't know if he's going to be good enough to go on Thursday. The other thing that hurt my feelings is that our buddy Nick Wright decided to attack me online and misrepresent something that I was trying to bring up as just plainly interesting. I said, hey, everybody, isn't it interesting that LeBron hasn't dunked in 2 days or 2 games? It reminds me of when Blake Griffin wasn't dunking. I'm putting LeBron on Blake Griffin dunk alert. And then all of a sudden, he gets a pass and a breakaway from Dario, not on his team, and he dunks. And then all of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up. What's going on here? Is that good enough for you? A keyboard warrior. What's the keyboard warrior? It's got a blue check. What the heck is it, Nick Wright? Uh-oh, then he dunks another one off an alley-oop. I didn't say that LeBron can't dunk. We just saw Vince Carter dunk on the set of the jump.
Tape.
I know the guy can dunk. I'm just saying he's not giving us that explosive, with no regards for human life, type action in the paint. And when we look at his shot chart, he only had 3 shots in the restricted area. It's a little bit of like the opposite of how Zion plays the game. So, Nicholas, I am just saying, and don't cyberbully me, can't TV bully me either, that this is an odd way for LeBron to play. Are you concerned, and do you think this will continue? That he's not necessarily passive, but he's certainly floating on the perimeter more often than usual.
No, I'm not concerned because it's going to get better as the playoffs go along. But obviously, LeBron is very cautiously playing these games. And Broussard, to me, like you saw on the second dunk on the alley-oop, how high he got. His explosion is obviously still there, but I think right now he can't turn the corner the way he wants to, and I think more importantly, he doesn't want to risk rolling the ankle in the mass of bodies down by the rim when you go up and you get hammered. And so I think he's playing very safely. This is LeBron's 50th playoff series. It's an insane number, but it's true. He's now 37-13, by the way, in game 2s. And it was his 262nd playoff game. I think Broussard, earlier you were talking about Kawhi, how Kawhi can't fully trust his body and he seems to wear down. I think LeBron knows exactly how much he has available to him, not only for the game, but for a series, for a couple series, and for a playoff run. And he is careful with how he uses it. Kawhi last night, for example, was as good as anyone will be all playoffs in the first half. And he was spent by the second half, which is why, to Brandon's point, he was amazing in the first half and good but not great. I think LeBron is being careful to not re-injure himself and trying to keep things in reserve because he expects to be playing for 2 months, not for 2 weeks.
Yeah, look, I think this is good for the Lakers. This is a good sign because it looks like LeBron's not even breaking a sweat. He is just playing a smart, savvy floor game, and then he's hitting his shots. Now, I don't know if he'll continue to shoot like this, but he looks phenomenal right now with his jumper. And as Nick said, I do think the athleticism will begin to come as we work our way through the playoffs. So you combine that old athleticism with what he's doing now, and, I mean, you got somebody that's playing at a top level of basketball. So I think this is good for the Lakers. I do think, Nick, that LeBron, yes, on that breakaway dunk, he showed he can get up. But in traffic, he has not shown that same explosion. And I think he is concerned about, yeah, I'll get in there, but will I be able to finish? I've been getting my shot blocked. I've been getting it contested more than usual. So I think that's a big part of why he's not going to the hole either. I'll give you that about the ankle as well. But he's going to have to get over that because as the series go on and as they face tougher teams, and look, just playing deep, I mean, the series are going to get tough. Whether you think Phoenix is the second best team or not, he's going to have to play in the lane a little more and penetrate at times. I don't know if he can continue to play this way the entire playoffs and them win it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.